There ain't nothing small about a Corvette, a C3 Corvette. They're big. Look how much room that thing takes up. They take up a lot of fucking room. But they got some cool curves. Yeah, we're going to do some painting. But not today. Get this thing jacked up so I can convert to manual steering. Might even clean up the garage before I get started. Yeah, them tiger stripes are awesome. Somebody asked, why don't I just change, to a different belt instead of converting to manual steering? Well, it's more than just converting manual steering to get rid of a belt problem. Parasitic losses and the belt is one of them, but it also removes a potential leak issue. So once we go to this, there's no more fluid in the power steering pump because there is no more pump. So the only belt-driven accessory I'll have is an alternator. And just having a power steering pump and an alternator only makes a serpentine system kind of redundant or not needed. But I do have a kick-ass alternator, one-wire alternator with a big old pulley on it. I think it's 8 ribs. And someday I'd like to get a blower on this, but and then I do that. But I think it'll be alright with a V groove and this. So take out all the power steering stuff, and this goes on the pitman arm. It connects to the drag link, and you're good to go. This was a kind of pricey for what it was. I think it was like $120, but Borgston, good brand. So yet another Zerk. Another reason to convert to manual steering for me is I drag race the car, so not as often as I'd like to, because I got some family situations going on where grandkids are living at the house with mama. And so Thursday I used to go to Yellow Belly, and now I can only go Sunday. And Sunday, I can't even go Sunday because at 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. I have to head over and pick up a grandchild, bring the grandchild back. My daughter still don't have a license. So anyway, but drag racing, you get more control. There is no. See how my wheel doesn't. It's tight. The steering box is tight. So when you have power steering, this becomes like loose. And when you're drag racing, you want to feel everything and have control. I got 6 degrees positive caster built into my new control arms, plus I probably gave it another degree, so I'm probably 6 to 8, somewhere around there, and that lets the car track straight. But by moving the tie rods to the outer holes, here, let me show you that. Yeah, to this outer hole, slows down the turning. So what's going to be deleted is the steering pump, this entire mechanism here off the drag link, and then the Borgston manual steering box goes there where that was. Or not the box, but the drag link connector. It eliminates that. So anyway, my steering has more, I have to turn more to accomplish what I used to turn when the tie rods were there. And if you ever watch or if you've never been if you've been drag racing, you know what I'm talking about. And I've driven that C10 that I raced, that I was driving. It's a big block nitrous. That thing had no power steering. And another thing is, you want to keep your tire pressure, even on skinnies, high for contact, but mainly for turning, because when you're in the staging lanes like a yellow belly, you got this turn you got to make. And when I was in that pickup, that C10, we didn't have a compressor with us, and we were running like 13 pounds or something on the front, so I didn't realize it at the time. And oh my God, and a small steering wheel, it was a bitch to turn. But if you have a lot of pressure, a manual steering isn't hard to turn at all, even dead stopped. It's not bad. I mean, here I am turning it right now, and the car ain't even running, and it's pretty easy to turn. I grew up, I was born in the 60s, so I've had lots of trucks and vehicles without power steering. As a matter of fact, this motor, the block, is a 400 block out of some pickup, and it had no bosses drilled. I mean, it had the bosses, but they weren't drilled out for the steering pump. So that was fun, because I dropped the motor in, got everything buttoned down, could have put in the power steering, and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, so I had to drill it while it was in there, and that was fun, drill and tap it. But now we're going to get rid of it, so thank God. One less leak point, or multiple leak points, because you got the hoses going all over the damn place to multiple places. So lots of leak, or places that won't leak anymore, and lots of good things to be manual steering again. I finally got this thing sitting kind of high enough to where I'm okay with the ride height. It's still lower than stock, but those tires are only 2 feet tall. They're 26 inches, but they only sit 24 and a half. But the car still got a little bit of a rake to it, not too much for drag racing, so I liked it. And I've removed so much weight here, I just can't wait to get to the track. I'm pretty sure I'll dip into the 6s just on motor without spray. We will see.